Tim.
Hey, Mike.
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
So
Sweating out here in the Texas heat.
yeah, it's beautiful.
Hope you're
day
enjoying
though.
it.
Oh, so back home, I think we're in our last week. I wish I was home right now, in a sense, because it's the last warm week, and the family's out doing the lake thing. But
Not warmer than this, though.
not warmer than this. This is nice. I'm sweating in September, and as a New Englander, that's a good thing.
Yeah?
I'll come back in March, and it'll still be a good thing.
Right.
So got a big event coming up here in not even 60 days, right?
Yeah.
About
45 days or
45,
so.
50 days.
Yeah.
Sequel Pass.
Pass Summit, yeah.
So you're going, right?
I am. Yeah, I'm doing a presentation. I'm talking about SSIS and the cloud.
Sure.
How they can play well together.
You know, it's funny. You're talking about the cloud, and I'll be there too. I'm speaking an intro to Azure SQL DB.
Okay.
It's a great talk. I love doing, but the talk probably only really has a lifespan of maybe 2 more years because it's really I call it Azure SQL Database a guided tour. So it's basically what is Azure SQL Database, how does it work, and how do you get into it, and hopefully the way things are going is in 2 or 3 years we won't need a guided tour anymore because everybody's going to know it, and a lot of people are going to be there. But it's funny though, if you were to tell me that you and I would be both going to pass and speaking, I wouldn't be surprised. But if you told me we're both doing a talk solely focused on the cloud, that's funny. I don't know why it's funny, but
yeah, even 2 or 3 years, I would 2 or 3 years ago, I wouldn't have guessed that.
yeah, even a year ago, honestly.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Things are changing. Climate's changing.
So let's talk about pass. There's a lot of people coming as first timers, I'm sure, like normal. Tell me about when you were a first timer pass.
So the first time I went to pass was actually the one here in the Dallas area. It was over in Grapevine, maybe 40 miles away.
Is that the one that had the hurricane?
No.
No, okay. One had
we don't get a lot of hurricanes here in Dallas.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, maybe it was at the Gaylord. There was a hurricane.
The Gaylord.
All right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first one that I went to was in 2005,
Yep.
and I wrote a blog post about this on my blog called "Don't Be This Guy."
Yeah, I remember that.
So that
post,
was I
actually.
wrote the post in 2009, and then I updated it a couple of years later. But that experience, I enjoyed it. Was certainly glad that I went. I got a lot out of it. So I'd been doing SQL Server for about 2 years at that point.
Yep.
I went to Kimberly Tripp's full day indexing class, and my SQL Server brain was about this big, and it burst at some point.
Sure.
There's just so much. Even now, if I went to Kimberly's session on indexing, I'm sure my brain would be full by the end of the day. But my wee little
are a lot to take in.
Pre-cons are a lot to take in, but my wee little SQL Server brain back then, it was way too much information. It was a great experience, but the week overall, it was wasted. And what I mean by that is I'm glad I went. I got value out of it, but I was a wallflower.
Sure.
I didn't do much. I really didn't get out and meet a lot of people. I talked to some people. I met a few people here and there. I went to a couple of socials.
Yep.
But I didn't really make any effort to do anything apart from just the standard, these are the sessions, these are the official parties and whatnot.
Yeah, your employer's paying you, and you're going to
They
go
were
to the
paying me to
official
be there,
things,
so.
and then go to your hotel room and sit there like this watching TV.
And there were a couple of nights that I'm quite sure by 9 p.m. I was back in my hotel room. And I look now as that being kind of a waste because every time I've gone since then, I've done nothing but sleep in my hotel room. I don't go back and watch TV because first of all, I made a big effort to know people, to get to know people. That's how you and I met, was through the community. Had a lot of contacts that I've been able to work back and forth. So been able to get benefit and give benefit. Just from contacts that I made at the Past Summit and similar events.
Sure.
But now I make it my mission to not go to the hotel until it's actually time to sleep. I'm tired as all get out by the end of the week.
Yeah, sure.
But I've done as much networking as I can. I've met people. I've learned. I've made contacts. I've had fun. We do some fun stuff like karaoke. We just do get-togethers. There's a game night that we do that doesn't matter if you're into going out and staying out till 2 a.m. or just you want a nice quiet night.
Yeah,
and
that was
there's
new
something
last
for
year,
everybody.
right? The game night?
It was new, as of last year.
That was fun. I went to that.
Yeah. So it's something for everybody. It's certainly a good opportunity to do some networking.
Sure.
If you're in the boat that I was in back, 12 years ago, my first time, I was the only database person in my organization. So everybody that I knew was virtual or with the user group, and I knew some of them but didn't really know them.
Sure.
Getting out and knowing people through community events like that is
yeah.
a huge game changer as far as your career goes.
Absolutely.
And I would not be where I am right now were it not for my involvement in the community. And it's part of that is just being willing to get out and take a step.
Sure.
Be a little bit brave.
Yeah.
And meet people.
Yeah.
Because I've never, in all my community exploits, I've never gone up, and introduce myself to anyone and had them say buzz off or be rude or anything.
Yeah,
people are there to meet other people. They're there to network. They're there to be part of the community.
Yeah.
And they're probably if you're kind of in the timid camp like I used to be, most people there are probably as timid as you are.
Yeah.
And if you walk up and say hi, you initiate a conversation.
Yep.
Without trying to be cliche, it could change your life.
Sure.
Because there were a couple of times that I had one life-changing conversation.
Yeah.
That you talk to one person, they know someone, hey, we're hiring, you want to come work over here? And I had one of the conversations in 2009, the first time that I went back after that 2005 year.
Yep.
That I had one conversation with someone that I knew, it was a friend of a friend.
Yep.
And it ended up changing the trajectory of my career, and I left my hospital job and went to work in consulting.
Sure.
And I've been a consultant ever since.
Yep. It's either a great thing or a bad thing, depends how you look at it.
Yeah. I look at it as a net good thing.
Yeah, it's a net good. No, it is good. Yeah, so 2006 was my first pass, and same thing. So the only difference is I had, Andy Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
I was friends with Andy Kelly because we used to work together. He was my first DBA manager way back when, which is funny because he was an MVP then, the new MVP, and he hired me as a junior DBA, basically so he could spend all his time in the news groups and answer questions. While I did like backups and stuff, but. Well, there's a whole different story.
He probably did you a favor by doing that.
It was amazing. Actually, we should have a video just about mentoring because, and we'll talk about that. But anyway, he was a friend, and he knew I was going to pass, and he had reached out to me and said, hey, come hang out with me a couple of times. So I was pretty much a wallflower and just lived in my hotel room, except for I had dinner with Andy a couple of times, and he said, hey, come to a solid Q. This was back when Solid Quality Learning was Solid Quality Learning. He said, come to a Solid Quality Learning dinner with us because we have our team dinner, and you can come sit with me and hang out. And I said, yeah, I'll do that. And here I am in 2006. I didn't. If you told me I'd be an MVP someday or be speaking at PASS, I would say no. You're an idiot. Like I don't even speak in public. Like I'm not a consultant. I don't speak in public. Not going to happen. But I went to that dinner, and at the dinner was Itzik Ben Ghan, Kaylin Delaney. And I'm just sitting, Fernando, Guerrero. And I'm just
starstruck.
Yeah, I'm like, well, this is. I'm eating dinner with these people. That's funny because looking back, it's funny because now. They're just normal people. They're amazing SQL people, but they're, I'm friends with most of them now, right? And I say hi to them when I go to events and stuff. But they were like, hey, how you doing? Tell me about yourself. And it was like they weren't scary celebrities trying to be mean to me, right? They were people who want to know what you do. Yeah. And same thing, it's great. So PASS has done a lot of things for people. You got the first timer event now, and they really try and get you to put that. It sounds corny. Some people who are going to PASS and watching this, and our first timers at PASS won't put the ribbon on because they're like, "Oh, that's embarrassing." But I don't know about you, but was it 2 or 3 years now they've been doing the first timer ribbon?
Yeah, it's several years.
Every year they do that.
I try to find people
like
that.
Same here. That's what I was saying. You read my mind. I'll go find people and say, "Hey, welcome to PASS. It's your first time. Tell me about yourself. What are you here for? What are you doing? What are you in for? And I tell them where to go. And I'll still go to some sessions of friends and something I really want to know. Right. But I'll get the DVD now. And I'll mostly just network and talk to people. I've gotten...
That's the real value.
Yeah, I've gotten 2 or 3 consulting gigs through PASS. And I've also... I had a long-term retainer client, a credit union, that I had as a client for 3 years because of PASS. And solely because of the SQL community. So the SQL community, SQL family they call it, is really it's a pretty cool... It's pretty amazing. I talk to people who are in .NET communities and .NET user groups and Oracle user groups, and you can go to Oracle Open World and you get lost. I've never been because I'm not an Oracle guy, but don't ever call me one. But there's many more people, and there's not that sense of community and sense of belonging. It's a family that wants people in it. It's like a gang, without all the guns,
without the bandanas.
Yeah, without the bandanas or guns or whatever else gangs have. I don't know, but yeah, I think it's great. So I hope that people watching this video are going to PASS.
Yeah.
We don't get anything if you go, but...
Yeah, well, if you do go, you see Mike, you see me, or really you see anybody else that you recognize from forums, or you saw him speak at some point, go up and say hi. Catch them when they're, don't walk up in the middle of the session, obviously. But,
sure. Unless you have money. If you have money, come
yeah,
talk
they'll take your money.
I will.
But, if you catch them at lunch, catch them walking through the hall, they're going to stop and say hi to you. They're going to appreciate the fact that you took the time to seek them out and say, hey, I know you. I thank you for doing whatever it is that you do. They're going to appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And you'll have made a contact. You'll know somebody in the community. They'll know you, and it can be the beginning of a great thing.
Yeah. And if you're on the fence, do I go or not go? You got to try it 1 year. And I love Seattle. I mean,
oh yeah,
for that reason alone, it's fun. Going down to the market.
Yeah.
I love sushi. Some of the best sushi in the countries in Seattle, and just
absolutely.
And the people, the Sequel people, it's a good time.
Yeah.
And if you do I'm ready to go home by Saturday because I'm tired at the end of the week, but it's still good. Sorry, I cut you off.
Well, if you do stay, or if you do go, I encourage you to stay over until Saturday morning. So once Friday's here, all the sessions are done. The event is officially over, but a lot of us go ahead and stay Friday night and Saturday. A big group of us go down to a big seafood place right down on the water. It's a great time. We usually spend 2 hours down there just eating seafood and networking and laughing. If you end up doing that, catch me. So find me on Twitter, find me on wherever, and let me know, and I'll give you the details of that. It's really a lot of fun. It's low key, it's low pressure. It's not like forced networking. But if you go, you're going to meet a lot of people. You're going to get to know a lot of people that you might not otherwise have met.
Yeah, Tim will even let you buy him dinner if you want.
That's right. I will allow you to buy me a lobster.
Yes, or crabs or whatever.
That's right.
So, nice. Yeah, so hopefully we see you there. So, yeah, thanks.
Hopefully see you there.
Yeah, nice.